Hello, Cancer. This is going to be your bonus reading for August 2018. This is for Cancer Rising, Cancer Sun, and Cancer Moon. And it's going to be on love and relationships, and then your career and job situation or money situation, and then your health. My puppy's running around doing random things, so we may get distracted. And so I'm going to do a 6-card spread for love and relationships for Cancer Rising, Sun, and Moon sign for August in Cancer's best, highest good, as well as anything that they need to hear. Love and relationships, and that's for both single Cancers and Cancers that are already in relationships, and even Cancers that have just met someone and started seeing someone. Okay. Past, present, and future. Okay, I'm going to pick a couple of overview cards. And one clarifier. Sorry, guys. I thought it would be simple, but it's not looking simple to me. Okay. So I'm going to show you the original 6, and then I'll show you the clarifiers and start explaining. Here we go. On the first of the top 3, you have the 4 of Cups. I believe you had this card for your July general reading. If you haven't watched that, you may want to. A lot of times it seems like these are continuing stories, but we'll see. Your middle card on the top is the King of Swords. Your third card on the top is Justice. Out of the bottom 3, you have the Knight of Cups. In the middle, you have the Knight of Swords. And your final card on the bottom is the Princess of Pentacles. A lot of people seem to be getting this princess so far in the month of August. I pulled 2 overview cards just to kind of get a gist of what this is about. And I got 2, which is the Chariot, which is one of your cards, and you have the King of Cups, which is a Scorpio card. You have quite a few court cards in here, which lead me to believe that perhaps you have a lot of people in and out of your life at this time, or you're trying to mull over what to do about all of these people in your life. Maybe not necessarily just with love, but just in general too. So, hey! Gotta stop my puppy, hang on. Okay, I'm back. Hey! Hey, Ozzy. Come here. Ozzy. Alright. Where were we? We were on your recent past with relationships or with love. You have the 4 of Cups over the Knight of Cups. The 4 of Cups, pardon me, Mercury retrograde. The Four of Cups is all about wishing for something else other than what you have. It's about feelings of boredom or discontent or just feeling not inspired by your current situation. And notice in Four of Cups, she has her 4 existing cups that she has. And then she has the 1 cup that is higher than all the other ones in the ethers, which represents what she truly wants, what would truly inspire her, what would truly feed her soul. And she could possibly believe that this is unattainable, or she could possibly think that it is possible, but it would mean changing things. It would mean possibly letting go of things, or to get up out of that chair and go after it. I believe you had this card in your July general reading. Underneath it is the Knight of Cups, which represents following your bliss, following your happiness, feeling blessed, magical, like wonderful things are happening. Adventures, excitement, inspiration, and also genuine love, genuine kindness. So this tells me that in the recent past, you've been thinking about what you truly, really want. You've possibly been daydreaming. You've been mulling these things over, of realizing that where you're at now is just not cutting it as far as you feeling completely inspired and in love with your life. And in a relationship reading, this leads me to believe that you want something else than what you have, or you feel as though you're lacking this. You're lacking inspiration and romance in your life, and you want it. So currently, this seems really specific. So hopefully whoever is watching this will make sense for you. And if not, I guess it's just not meant for you this time around. Presently, it seems like you're having, I think this came out in your July reading too, didn't it? If you're new to this channel and this is your first Cancer reading, you may want to check out your July reading on my channel too. This may be some kind of a continuing story. So currently, it looks like you may possibly have somebody in your life, if you are in a relationship, where you just don't feel like, you feel like perhaps they expect you to be a certain way, or they expect you to believe in the same things that they believe in, or they expect you to totally agree with whatever their viewpoint is. This person seems very strict, seems very exacting, and possibly seems sarcastic or cruel with words, or mentally controlling. Like, I'm getting things in here possibly to do with gaslighting, or being made to feel as though you're crazy for just simply being a emotional, sensitive person. This could be somebody who is psychologically controlling, emotionally controlling, but I'm getting more things like possible just too aggressive with words, or too cutthroat in how they communicate. Gosh, I hope this isn't true for you. This is so not conducive to Cancer energy at all. If this isn't the case, if this isn't somebody that you're in a relationship with that you feel like it's almost like they want you to be something that you're not, or they expect you to behave in a certain way that may not be your style. Just seems too controlling to me, or too sarcastic, or too cruel, too something. So anyway, if this isn't an actual person, then this represents you becoming very objective and clear about what it is that you really want. And you're also, it's almost like you've gotten to a point where you just are almost cutthroat in how you communicate, or you've become so jaded by not having your dreams fulfilled that you just won't put up with BS anymore. And so in how you're coming off as communicating with other people, it may seem that you're a no BS type of person and you're very straightforward about where you're coming from. But this doesn't seem right to me. It just seems so non-Cancerian. So let's move on. Hey, buddy. Hey. Oh my gosh, this puppy. Hang on. Okay, you want to see the culprit? This is my little beastie, and he's a little imp, and he keeps on getting into everything. Everything, just all the time, 24/7, non-stop. Now be a good boy. Be a good boy. Here. Have that. Chew on that. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? We were in the future with love and relationships for Cancer. This looks way better than the present situation. I would be interested to hear your comments on what the heck is going on with you. That looks... yeah, it feels like you're either way too much in your head and have gotten almost jaded, or you're dealing with someone that is extremely difficult to deal with. I really hope that's not the case for you. But if for some reason this is true, please comment, let me know. In the future, I see you as possibly having to make a major decision about possibly where to go, what to do, and how to provide for yourself more than you have been, or how to best take care of your children if you have any. Also, you are ready in the future to start with this new path or this new journey or this new world of yours that you've been wanting to do. I see you as taking active steps towards fulfilling your wishes and fulfilling your dreams. And you're looking at logical steps too. You're looking at logical steps. You're looking at what you need to actually do and how to organize this thing. If you are already in a long-standing relationship and you feel like things have gotten to the point where there's almost no romance left, you may have to make some kind of a major choice to leave the situation. It may have gotten to the point now where you're realizing it's not going to change on its own, no matter how much you wish it to. And so you need to take some active, practical steps on how to proceed and what to choose and how to go about this thing. Some of you that may be watching may even be thinking about getting a divorce or leaving a long-standing relationship. If that's the case, then you're definitely thinking about how this is going to affect the children and how to best go about doing this thing where your children feel secure. Gosh, this is really specific. It makes me wonder who's watching. So, and if you're single and you're not in a relationship at all, I'm getting that in the past you have been wishing and hoping and praying for something that will actually feed your soul or make you feel valued or appreciated or just make you feel alive. Perhaps there's some things from the past that are still lingering in your mental body, especially concerning exes or people from the past that were extremely psychologically controlling or abusive. And so you are at a point where you absolutely will not take that anymore. And not only will you not be able to take that anymore in relationships, but from people in general, it's kind of like you've hit the top of your BS meter, basically. And so you will not tolerate that anymore. You can't tolerate that anymore. And so if you are single in the future, you're definitely looking at what would be the best for you and what would be the best for children if you have any children. If you don't have children, what would be the best way of going about attracting what you truly want and taking active, practical steps towards that. Even possibly taking classes or taking courses in something that interests you in hopes that it'll bring in like-minded people that you can meet. So your remedies or clarifiers. Because to me, this future combination looked very business-like to me. It didn't look that romantic. I wanted to get a kind of a clearer idea of what the heck is going on with that. So I pulled these two as clarifiers. And what I'm getting is that you will not tolerate unfairness anymore, or you will not tolerate injustice anymore. You want a totally, completely fair union. You want equality. You want equality of power, equality of love, equality of intent, equality of natural balance within the relationship. And you're willing to do what's necessary or to wait patiently for this to come about. I feel like you've hit your top of your BS meter of tolerance. You will not tolerate anything less than this now. You can't. So I am happy to say that if you continue down this road and you continue to be very clear about what you want, you're more than able to attract this to yourself in the way that you need it to be. And I see this as being a truly fair, truly creative, truly mutually respectful relationship where you can see eye to eye and you come up with a nice blending of your natures. If you have met someone, you may have let past traumas with abusive people in the past get in the way of you opening up to this. If you choose to open yourself up to it and trust this, I see it as actually having a really nice outcome and being exactly what you need. So for all of these cards, I pulled two overview cards to give me a better idea of what the heck is going on with you, with relationships. And so I got the Chariot, which is one of your cards, and I also got the King of Cups. And he is the master of his emotions, not to the point of repressing his emotions. He completely honors and acknowledges all of his emotions, and he's able to find self-mastery and balance in being able to honor and yet not let his emotions control him. And so I'm getting that you truly long for a connection where you are able to be your truest self and be able to show your partner all of your aspects of your being. And you also want this in return. You want total honesty and total mutual respect. And also a sense of going someplace together. You won't settle for something superficial. You want something deep. You want something meaningful and deep where you feel like you are completely understood or seen. And you want that the other way around as well. And if you are not getting this in a present relationship, and if you haven't been getting this in a present relationship for a long time, I'm getting that you are finally accepting the fact that you cannot do this anymore and you need to move on. So hopefully that made sense to you or helped in some way, and we will go on to your jobs, career, and money situation. Hello, Cancer. I'm going to do your career, job, money, prosperity situation with another 6-card spread. The puppy's asleep now, so hopefully I won't be interrupted. And this is in Cancer rising, sun, and moon's highest good, along with whatever they most need to hear concerning jobs or career or money. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I had to put a mud cooler on in order to make it cooler in here for me. It's in the height of summer. Even though the nights here are quite cool, in my apartment only one window opens, and so all of the heat from the midday gathers in the apartment and stays for a long time. So hopefully you can hear me. Jobs, money, and career. Cancer, rising sun and moon. And their best, highest good. And then with anything we do here. Okay, I'm going to pick the 6 cards. Hopefully this will be a straightforward, simple reading, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to pick probably a couple of clarifiers to see, or one clarifier, and a remedy. Okay. Sorry about the jiggles. So I'm going to show you your 6 cards, and then I'll show you the clarifiers and remedies. First one on the top 6 is the Lovers again. The middle one is the 9 of Pentacles. Your last one on the top is the 8 of Swords. On the bottom row, there's the 8 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, good, and your last one on the bottom is the 5 of Swords. So I picked a clarifier and a remedy for the last 2. And they are the Hierophant again and the Queen of Pentacles. So, in the recent past, with jobs, money, career, prosperity, goals, where you want to go, how you want to be seen, in the past you've been mulling over a very large, major choice that would be life-changing or situation-changing in your life. A lot of the reasons on why you have not completed this choice all the way is because it involves having to let go of past attachments, especially emotional attachments. It's scary to leap into the unknown towards an unknown future on just pure risk when it involves having to let go of so much. But really, the reason why she wants to step over that threshold, I'm looking at this one, is because what she has had existing that once emotionally fulfilled her no longer completely emotionally fulfills her, which is why she wants to go towards the new or go towards the unknown, because she's already emotionally experienced everything she possibly could from these existing situations. But I mean, knowing you guys the way that I do, I can see why this would be a huge risk, or why you would feel so torn in this process, because it's against the Cancerian nature to let go of everything familiar and just leap into the unknown like that. But in any case, this is where you've been. This is what you've been thinking about. This is what you've been thinking about as far as making a major choice to leave a situation or to move on towards a much better future or the unknown. And concerning jobs, you need to make a major you need to make a major choice involving letting go of what you are familiar with and going on to something completely new. That would be exciting and fulfilling for your soul, but it is scary to do that. So presently, you have been doing quite a bit to go in the direction of being self-sufficient. And this is making your own money, pioneering your own path in life, deciding what you want and going after what you want. You've been doing a lot towards this. You've made a lot of progress already. You've step by step been working on self-sufficiency, especially on a material plane, so that when you do start this new beginning, which you may have already just started this presently, or you're about to leap into it now, you, for the most part, have all your ducks in a row, or you've got your safety net plan, or you've got your coins saved up for this, or you've set yourself up where you can be self-sufficient in the future so that you can feel okay about leaping into this new thing. And it feels like before it was somewhat unconscious and now it's becoming conscious. This can also be starting your own business where you are the boss or the manager or the person in charge, where this is your project, this is your thing. Looks very good, you guys. But I don't understand this, which is why I pulled 2 clarifiers, but I'll try to make sense out of this for you. Considering how well you're doing presently, this looks like backsliding or sorry to put it this way, but re-traumatization. I don't know if that's a word. Based off of controlling tactics in the past. If this has to do with your career or your jobs, it makes me wonder if you have an especially cruel, sadistic boss. And somehow you feel trapped in this job situation, even though you are definitely not happy. You feel as though you can't get out. But that doesn't make any sense to me because currently you're doing rather well. So I don't understand why this is happening in the future. So your clarifier for that I pulled is the Queen of Pentacles. I think, unfortunately, what it's going to have to come to is that you won't fully leap over that threshold into the new without some kind of awful culmination of things happening. Perhaps you think things are getting better, but in the future, things are going to come to an awful head where you realize, okay, there's no way of saving the situation, and you're just going to have to go because you can't do this anymore. This is so bizarre, you guys. I really hope this isn't true. Or you're finally untrapping yourself from your own mind that keeps you thinking that you have to stay in situations like this out of security. I don't know. So your clarifier for that is the Queen of Pentacles. This tells me continue with the process of becoming self-sufficient, or where you have all of your own needs created by yourself without necessarily having to rely on anyone else or be under the thumb of someone else. There may be a saving grace in here where just when you think everything has fallen into ruin and everything is completely wrecked and you don't know how to get out of it, some dear ally comes along to help you, or to give you an opportunity or an offer, or to provide you with stability. And this can also be yourself as well. This doesn't have to be just one other person. But it looks like you have a hidden angel in your midst that's going to come to you when you most need it in order to provide you with some kind of a safety net, safety plan, some kind of existing, flourishing situation that you can become a part of. Your remedy with that is Chiron again, is the wounded healer, the Hierophant, the speaker of ageless wisdom. So it seems like it would have to get to a point of almost a breaking point for you to finally realize what you truly need and to actually make it happen. And something about hidden angels is at play here, where perhaps this whole time you felt like you've had to do this completely on your own, or you felt completely alone. That would make sense because in your general reading there was something about not feeling held by community or not having enough friends, or just feeling not emotionally supported by your surroundings. But it looks like there are hidden angels that come to you when you most need it, when you thought that that didn't even exist anymore. I really hope that that's true. This seems very specific to me. I don't know who this is for, but yeah, it looks like it'll all come out okay in the end. You just have to have faith. And you have to keep on plugging away and moving forward. You may be offered a new job where you can teach, or you could use your healing gifts if you have healing gifts, or if you have always been a natural healer or helper in your life, or a natural grounding person for other people. It seems like you are offered some kind of a dream job or situation where you can fully utilize your own gifts and be able to make good money at it too. So, okay, next is your health. See you in a second. Hello, Cancer. This is going to be for your mental, emotional, and physical health. And this is for Cancer rising, sun, and moon sign in their best, highest good, and also whatever they most need to hear. Hopefully this will be more straightforward than the other ones and less complicated. But I'm wondering if Murphy's Law is at work, because every time I hope for that, I always get something complicated. So maybe I should say I want something complicated. Okay, health. Mental, emotional, and physical health for Cancer, August 2018. 6 cards. What is going on with you guys? Okay, I'm gonna pull a remedy card. Nice. And I'm gonna pull one clarifier. Okay. All right. Your first one out of your top 3 is Judgment. Your middle one, here he is again, is the 5 of Swords. And your last one on the top, the Knight of Swords. Didn't you get this before? With relationships, I think. On the bottom 3, you have the 10 of Cups. The middle bottom is one of your cards, the Queen of Cups. This is the minor court card for Cancer. Your final one on the bottom is the 8 of Swords. I pulled a clarifier for the last 2, and I got him again, the Knight of Wands. Wait, was this for you? I can't remember. Maybe it was Gemini. as a remedy for this whole situation. Very lovely, you guys. Thank goodness. You have the Ace of Cups. Okay. So in the past, with your health, you have Judgment over the Ten of Cups. And I'm seeing this as you came to a crux moment in the recent past where you realize that things have to change. That you have to bring back to life your past hopes, wishes, and dreams for total emotional fulfillment for yourself. This is what you wanted when you were very young, that you looked forward to having this come about in your adult life. And for whatever reasons in the past, you've gotten to a point now recently where you've realized this has not come into being the way that you wanted it to fully. And so you must let go of old ghosts or old pains or old things that hold you back, whether they're external or internal, from fulfilling this ancient wish of yours. It's not like throughout your life you haven't been happy or you haven't done amazing things with your life. But I'm getting that this is a very deep need for you that you've had since possibly you were a child. On just a way of life or a way of feeling that you have always wanted. And you are done with resigning yourself to believe that this may never happen. It has to happen. That's how you feel. This has to happen. This is one of the reasons why you came here. So, concerning health, feels like maybe you had a health scare recently of a possible life or death situation that made you realize just how meaningful and important life really is, and how you can't take anything for granted, or you can't just resign yourself to things like this. You have to live your life to the fullest with the time that you have. Maybe you had some kind of a life or death scare, or a death scare, or something happened. Maybe a loved one of yours passed away that meant a great deal to you, and it made you realize just how precious life really is, and how you can't waste your time anymore living out things that are not following the lines of your deepest, truest wishes for what you want your life to make you feel like. So, presently, I don't know what's going on with you, but it feels like this is the classic, and it's funny I'm even about to say this because normally I try to stay away from these types of labeling things, like the whole thing about narcissists and empaths or twin flames versus soulmates, blah, 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 blah. I just try to stay away from that. But this to me is screaming the whole classic empath narcissist relationship type dynamic. But perhaps this isn't just with love or relationships. This could be a lifelong battle, or a lifelong challenge, or a lifelong pattern that you are finally getting to a point where you cannot do this anymore. You are completely over it. And what I mean by all that, if you haven't caught up with modern day lingo on things that people are realizing collectively, this means that you have been such an empathic, sensitive soul that has wanted the best for the people around you, to the point of nurturing them so much that you have sometimes forgotten how to nurture yourself properly. You take your role as nurturer extremely seriously. And because of this nature that you have attracted some people that have very selfish, manipulative agendas, personalities, where it's all about them. If you look at the picture, he's almost smug or happy about what he's doing. He has knocked his poor friend off the raft, and his poor friend is drowning. And he's taken all of the swords for himself, and he's happy about it. It makes him feel good about himself that he can show his power over others in this way, where he can knock people off the boat and rise to the top. This is not a person who feels empathy for other people. If he did, he would immediately be saying he was sorry and lifting that guy out of the water and throwing all the swords in the water. But he's not empathic. He's cruel. He's selfish. All he cares about is what he can accomplish or master, to the point of hurting other people and not caring. So presently, you've reached a point where you can smell this when it is around you. You've become so familiar with this dynamic that the minute you even see it with people around you, in your surroundings, or if someone comes along that shows even a hint of this type of thing, you can smell it. You know exactly what that's like. So now that you have experienced it to the point where you know exactly what it smells like, the minute you smell it, it's all about honoring your own feelings and getting the heck away from this type of energy. It may have even been twisted for a few of you to the point where you have experienced this over and over, to the point where you have almost become that. And that's scary to me, because I can't even imagine a Cancerian person with hearts like you guys have getting to get to be to that. Hopefully that's not true. Or it's almost like you've taken it on and it's in you now. It's almost like being infected with something. But let's move on. So in the future, I see this again, same sort of situation as your last reading. I think it was for jobs and career. It gets to a point where you feel completely bound by this, even internally in your own being, in your own mind. You get to feel trapped by this energy, like you're almost so traumatized by it that it's almost like you're still in it, even if you have left, or you don't know how to get rid of this energy. But you've reached a point in the near future where you finally say, you know what, I am so over this. I am not doing this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I have to follow what I want for myself. I have to find out the truth. I have to see what's out there. I can't keep on thinking that this is going to happen over and over, or that people in general are like this. I almost feel like you've gotten hurt to the point of becoming jaded, where you think that people in general are like that. I really hope that that's not true, but you've reached a point where you realize maybe you're boxing yourself in your own mind. Maybe you're imprisoning yourself at this point, and you need to be free. You need to be able to see what's out there. You need to realize that not everyone is like that, that you can have something else, that you don't need to continue with something that isn't healthy for you. You want to have adventures. You want to go experience things. So your overall remedy for all of this stuff is the Ace of Cups, which is pure love, pure and simple. Just love in general. Love conquers everything. Love conquers all. Love is the reason why everything exists. That's why we're willing as human beings to put up with awful things like that, is because of this. Because of the moments that are like this, that make life worth living. So I do see that possibly if you're single or you've been wanting love in your life, you are at a point now where you are fully releasing trauma from the past. And the minute you fully let that go, which you're already in the process of doing, this is immediately going to come in, because this is what you've been wishing for the whole time. It's just been waiting for a doorway to go through. You may have had the door closed without even realizing it, because of how much you've been hurt in the past. Gosh, this seems really specific. So, working on your heart chakra is the best possible thing you can do for your health. And that is believing in magic, miracles, believing that anything is possible and you can initiate beautiful things in your life, and being able to open up your heart fully in expectation that you will be honored and loved by the people around you or the energy around you. Anything that has any echoes of that last stuff, you'll be able to sniff it out, no problem, and stay the heck away from it and walk away from it. But that doesn't mean that all situations are like that. And you know that. You know that. I'm just reminding you of this. So feel free to open up your hearts. The worst is over, and you're on to a new beginning. That's really beautiful. So hopefully that helped, or at least you understood that. And I wish you all the best. I love you, and I'll see you next month. Okay.